really bad.
Okay.
I think it's kind of shitty, even though she's probably getting what she needs to move forth with this lawsuit, that she's basically working with someone who helped perpetuate it.
I agree.
I think it's a little scummy, in my opinion. I do, as like a law, I don't want to say like as a lawyer, but as someone who eventually wants to work in like PR and like crisis and all that fun stuff, you do sometimes have to do a little dirt to help yourself and help your client. And again, that's in human nature and blah blah. Like no one's hands are ever going to be completely clean their entire lives. So I
Right.
do get that aspect of it. But since this was so jarring and disgusting and had so many layers, and John Laurinaitis has been talked about doing, allegedly, horrendous and not so great things to female talent and etc, and for them to be able to just like for her like, and I don't want to blame like put on her for, but the team including Miss Grant, for them to just like completely drop it just to solely go after Vince and WWE, which I do think WWE should get some feet held to their fire, but I don't think they understand how much. And again, like, yes, WWE, because, and I feel like, in a sense, I feel like they should not get their feet held to the fire as much because, again, Vince had such control over everything. They're very, up until the TKO takeover, they ran as a mom and pop business.
They were a small business, believe
Yes,
it or not.
they, even though it was a multi-million, multi-billion dollar business, they still ran it like a small business.
Yeah.
So again, I know it's easy and I know they're upset again, and she's again taking aim at WWE because she was an employee there, but I also feel like that's very short-sighted because he did not have a checks and balances system for a lot of things.
True.
So, in my opinion, I would have kept that lawsuit on both of them, to be honest.
I 1000% agree.
Because you're letting him get away with a lot of messed up things that he's done to not only you, to talent that's still there, talent that hasn't been there, and talent that are no longer with us.
Yeah.
And that's what was upsetting to me, because, and now again, and like again, I want to be careful about my language about this. You can run into the many criticizations of women who have lawsuits against men who conduct sexual crimes about them, and it looks more like a money grab than it should. And I'm not saying that it is. Obviously, again, like, I think she should get her just due in court, which that's what they're still pushing for, I think, and all of that. But the optics of it doesn't look that good right now, in my opinion. And that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Alexis, what do you think?
I think it's real shitty that for her to get what she wants, she has to basically work with the devil, or at least the devil apprentice in Laurinaitis. But I know for a fact, like, I like to believe in my heart of hearts that Laurinaitis is not going to walk away scot-free, and whatever he believes in, he's going to have to pay for what he did. We called this shit, if I remember correctly, when
I think
everybody
you did.
one of us did it. I can't take that, because that will build my ego, and I
I
really
know
don't
it
need a
wasn't
big.
me, so
Said what?
I was like, I feel like it was Lex, because I know it was not me.
What did she
One
say?
of said that when all this mess about Vince and everything broke, that something like this was going to happen. One of us called this shit years
I want to say it
ago.
was you because it definitely was.
I really think it was you, Alexis, because I feel
Yeah.
like you said that the one of them was going to turn on each other
Yeah.
to save
Yeah.
themselves.
That's exactly what is going on. Like, sadly, I have this feeling that Vince is never going to get the full repercussion that he deserves. But again, when he goes to his afterlife, he's going to have a lot to contend with. Whatever you believe in, I just like to think maybe he's going to get his just desserts then and there, because unfortunately he won't get it while he's here alive. But we called this, you guys are saying I did it. I called this shit then. Like, they were going to turn on each other to save each other, to save their own ass. I would love to know what kind of evidence Laurinaitis had in order to get his ass off the hook. That's like the $1 million question. Are we probably ever going to find out? Probably not, which is the shitty thing, because I want to be petty. I want to hear what he has on Vince. But I think more people will come out. Pretty much what Nicole said. I was going to say the same thing, but I think in my heart of hearts that some more people, when the pressure gets to them, that they're going to turn and they're going to offer up just to save their own skin. But just like I said, though, just because you think you get away with it while you're alive, when you reach your afterlife, you're really going to hate how you were as a person during your time here. And that's all I got to say about that.
Well, okay, so I don't like it, but I understand that even in this game of these court cases and everything like that, sometimes you have to play a little dirty, like Nicole said, in order to truly get what you want. And I don't like it because I could kind of understand if Laurinaitis did not actively participate in her assault, but he did. And in my opinion, he needs to suffer the same wrath as Vince McMahon because he was an active participant and he benefited from the participation. And he also continued to impose on other people in this particular way. So that is why I don't like it, but I can't get mad about it. And I don't think that she likes it either. I think that she agreed to ensure that Vince McMahon gets his just due. He must be able to corroborate what she's saying. He has to corroborate it and agree and admit to the things that he did, which in turn is kind of like a double-edged sword, because while in court he won't be liable, in the court of public opinion he will be, and he'll be forever marked by that. So he kind of will get his just desserts, just not in the way we all presume. I, on the other hand, believe that Vince McMahon is going down. And the reason why is because his counterparts like Harvey Weinstein and Diddy now are all going down. They're all going to go down one way or another. And if it's not the way that
I'm
we
shocked
think,
it's not a RICO case, to be honest.
I think that they tried, but I don't think they had enough evidence because he didn't. So was he pimping her out?
I mean,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes, but they imply sex trafficking as taking them across state lines to have sex with other people. And that's how they got Diddy under the RICO charges. Also, they got him under the RICO charges for fraud and some other stuff. It's a little complicated with Diddy. But with Vince McMahon, he didn't really fit the qualifications of the RICO charges, which is probably why he didn't fit into that box. I think that he is going to get what he deserves, and I hope that he gets what he deserves. He deserves to either pay that woman what he owes her, or he needs to go to jail. And this is a civil case as far as I'm concerned. So he's going to end up paying a substantial amount of money. He's also going to be forever marked by this. Now, if some more people come forward and it's more recent than this young woman that was in a relationship with him, then you got a bigger problem than you probably could if they testify that he brought them across state lines against their will or whatever, then you got a problem. Okay? So all I can say is I hope she wins her case. John Laurinaitis, you're a scumbag, but scumbags do what scumbags. You're a coward scumbag.
I think that's the thing that pisses me off the most is that he's such a fucking little coward bitch that, oh God, how do I say this right way? They're all scumbags. Everybody who had something to do with this poor woman's treatment and the suffering that she went through, and I wish her the fucking best, and may anybody look after her, but like the fact that you are so chicken shit that your ass is gonna go down, and you're like, well, I'll help, but you gotta take me off of it. You could have been a real man and be like, look, I'll help you get Vince, but I know I'm going to jail, but maybe you could, because Laurinaitis, listen, unfortunately, none of these assholes are going to see the inside of a cell, because more than likely they'll die before they get there. Like, I know that sounds like really dark, but it's the fucking truth. But I just hope that I hope she just gets something. And Laurinaitis is a fucking bitch ass coward.
I agree, but it is what it is. I'm not gonna dwell on it. I think she's gonna get compensated for everything she went through for sure. But yeah. I do think that John Laurinaitis is a coward, because he could have just gave that woman,
because that was your friend,
right? Like, but I feel like out of everything you put that lady through, at the bare minimum, you could have at least testified for her and still ate the problem that you created, because you participated in it. Like, you ain't got no motherfucking loyalty when it came to you.
The only one, and I hate saying it because I don't like giving him nothing, the only one that I would have gotten leeway with this was Bruce Pritchard, in a sense, since he was never like, did he probably turn his head a few times, allegedly, probably, maybe, sure. Yeah. But he was not an active participant.
No.
So if it was somebody like that, I'd be like, okay, whatever. But the fact that it's John, that's where I have a lot of problems with, to be honest. I have a lot of problems with that.
I just don't like it. But like I said, I get it. And I generally don't think she wanted to take him off the lawsuit. I think she wanted to keep him on there. But of course, her lawyers are the ones advising her. Yeah. So she did the way she was advised, which I don't blame her. Now, it ain't necessarily over. They still got to do a trial, and if they decide to, their trial gonna be public, just like Diddy's trial will be public, and maybe we'll get to see, or at least hear, what the hell is going on, and what
I cannot wait, because we are going to get the most distracting booking on WWE during the trial. I can't wait.
That's gonna be nuts. So, yeah.
I mean, like, distracting, like,
shit's like, gonna be going ape shit.
Like somebody, I don't know. I'm gonna say somebody random. Like,
Chad Gable winning the world's title.
No, dead ass.
Low key, dead ass.
No, dead ass though.
Some crazy, or somebody who makes a little bit more sense, like Penta. Like Penta randomly. They gonna do a Jacy Jane with Penta.
No,
with Jay Uso.
For real. Oh, all right.
I can't wait. I'm so excited. That's gonna be a great week.
So messy.
It's gonna be the week where we get podcast, y'all.
I can't wait. All right, so we're gonna move on. It's always gonna be fuck you, John Laurinaitis.
Oh, so. He is whooping Josh Alexander's ass.
Ooh. Mike, can I have a honey, please? All right, so let's move into. You know what? Let's kind of go around. Let's do.
Ooh, these men's is wrestling.
Ooh. Here, baby, you can put that back. Let's do some AEW stuff. So, get that out the way. AEW's got a lot going on, right? We just had Double or Nothing. Shout out to AEW for Double or Nothing.
It was actually a good show.
Yeah, from what I heard, it was really good. So, you want to say?
I didn't see all of it, but it was good.
So, two most important things. Hangman Adam Page has won the Owen Hart tournament. And you know what happens when you win the Owen Hart tournament.
You got an automatic title shot at that world title.
Automatic title shot. And guess what? It has been scheduled. Hangman Adam Page will face off against Jon Moxley at All In, Texas.
Please.
Okay?
Please.
Girl, pray on
I'm going to make y'all upset. I want Hangman to win, but he's not going to win.
I don't think he's going to win either.
You know what? Do you know what they're going to do?
Darby Allin to come back.
Yep, because that motherfucker is almost done. I'm shocked he survived.
He climbed the summit. He climbed it.
He's yeah.
Good job on that. At least I'll give him up for that. You didn't die. You almost.
I was like, wow. He looks real healthy too. He does.
Weight. He looks a lot better.
He gained some weight. He looked healthy.
He does. He looks really good. So whatever this is honestly probably really good for him. He did. He looked healthy.
Good for him.
I looked it up, and you do have to, like, because Darby Allin is like, I could stand in front of him, and he would probably, like, fucking hide behind me. But, like, you have to have, like, excessive body weight to try to keep you warm while you're up there.
Mm-hmm. He looks very healthy at that weight, though.
I do kind of like I know he's such a shitty ass person, but like the skater kid in me, when I saw the picture of him doing like a kickflip on top of Mount Everest, I'm like, okay, that's kind of fucking cool. I'm not gonna lie on that.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. People can do shitty things and they can change and be better people. That is possible.
Yeah.
So I mean,
compared to his counterparts who've done shit, he's a little slightly better.
I have to agree. So I'm saying what I'm saying is, first, I know we don't like to give people the benefit of the doubt, but let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Okay.
All right.
So on the men's side, we've got Paige, who is officially the number one contender for the men's AEW championship. And on the women's side, Mercedes Moné is the one who won the Owen Hart tournament. And she is the number one contender for the AEW Women's Championship.
I am low-key scared about
I'm very nervous. I'm telling you, if they give that lady, and this is me, and I don't know why I'm so mad about it. I still want her to win because I picked her for my tournament. Actually, I'm going to say this. I hope she wins because I feel like I'm in second place right now.
That's all. That's all you want.
That's literally the only reason I want that lady to win. That's why I picked her. I picked her because of that, and I picked her because I said Trey would be so bad if I don't pick this fucking lady. So I picked that fucking lady. You're welcome.
I do not want her to win.
I don't want her to win, but I need her to win.
I know Tony can only carry that title so much. Like, I hope Juice Robinson giving his wife like back massages for carrying that whole, like, her shoulders and her back for carrying that women's division. I mean, we say that, but now there's more women coming out. And when we talk about the Anarchy in the Arena match, want to shout out to Willow about that. But like, I love Toni Storm. I love this crazy Delulu bitch like there's no other business. I want to buy her shirt for my birthday present for myself. I know she cannot continue being AEW Women's Champion. But at least with her, that title's being seen. And I think, and this, no offense to people who've had it before, but with her doing this timeless gimmick, that title's being seen. Like, she was doing something for Turner Classic Movies a couple weeks ago.
Awesome,
I was like, oh, this is so good. Who in marketing came up with that idea?
Yeah.
Then it's like the guy who was interviewing her was in like color, and then she was in black and white, and she was just, and then she just had that kick-ass match. Oh, what's her girl's name? I can never pronounce this girl's name right. Mina
Shirakawa.
Mina Shirakawa.
They made out afterwards. That was great to see, actually.
The early Pride Month, everybody.
Good for me.
But I know she can't keep that title forever because it does. But why Mercedes? Like, please don't drop it.
You know why. You know why.
I know Trey told you to pick her. I get it, and you need the win. But what has she done with all those other titles that she's won? I mean, she just lost one of them, but she still has like 3 of them.
She didn't even get pinned in that one.
And my biggest fear is that Mercedes gets that title. Tony will be fine. Tony can find something.
Also, Tony has literally, this is like her 4th or 5th time holding that title. She's more than okay.
Yeah.
Mariah had it. She had it. There's plenty of other women there who can carry it. Because now
hold on, I'm gonna look that up because I know it's at least 4.
I think it's 4.
Like and I know, and to me, like honestly, since she started doing the timeless gimmick, that belts mean something. Because like, think about it, 4 years ago, would they have cared about a women's match if it with like the Hollywood ending? No, because a lot of that had to do with the work that both Tony and Mariah put in, which I love both them bitches for. And I say that in the sweetest way. I'm not being derogatory toward them, okay? But like, it's being seen, it's being shown. Like Tony, like literally ran down all the opponents in the Owen Hart Cup, and she got to what was it? What's that bitch's name? Megan Bay, or no, Chris Statlander. She goes, God, what a woman! And like she's just like running everything, like she's running everybody down. And like the fact that she's on like Turner Classic Movies doing that shit, I screamed when I saw it. And I love her, and I love how at the press conference she's like so out of it after like making out with Nina, and she's like, I forgot what it was, but she looked at Luther. She's like, okay, Luther, they said heavier stuff. Bring out the meth. I was like, what the fuck, Tony? I just love her, and I know she can't keep that title forever, but not Mercedes. Not Mercedes. There are plenty of other women, especially after the show out Willow had. There are plenty of other people. Willow deserves it.
Unfortunately, they were not in the plans from the very beginning. You see, look, I understand what you're saying, and everybody else does too, but the thing is, outside of her stands, the thing is, Mercedes is a draw depending on who's watching the program. Now, in the beginning, when she first got there, she was a major draw, but I think once she got there, they kind of had a better understanding of what type of draw she truly is. And it's not as big as she thinks it is.
I just hope Janie's okay after that, like whatever that move she was trying to do on her. Like, damn.
Well, she came out there today. She was on AEW today. That's who Tekla, I think that's how you say her name is Tekla. I think that's who Tekla came out and attacked. It was Jamie Hayter. So she's okay.
That was fucking nasty to see, though.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But it's not about the women in the locker room. Unfortunately, it is about Mercedes. And to hear her tell it, they have the greatest locker room in the world, but she doesn't have a problem bowling over all of them. And that's one of the things that I have an issue with. Because in my opinion, while you're in the tournament, you shouldn't be the mid-card champion in the damn tournament.
Mm-hmm.
You already have a title. So yeah, she's got plenty. I'm not saying she dropped one of her New Japan titles because she had 4 belts at one point. And she dropped the title, and then she's down to 3. But she's been TBS champion, I think, now for a year. I want to say it's a year.
Well, shout out to a real champion. Athena has officially held the Ring of Honor Women's title for 900 days.
Jesus Christ.
But that bitch better not lose during this either. I'm be pissed.
What the fuck?
I picked her too.
God damn.
The only one that I don't mind you saying that she needs to win. So
I know for Nicole's sake, I'm okay with it under that, guys, but I really don't want her to. I don't think she's gonna drop that TBS title. I think she's gonna carry both of them.
Right.
And that's what I'm having a problem with. If she does drop it, it'll be in some wonky way like they did in New Japan, where she's got like a fatal 4-way and then somebody pins somebody else to get it. But
that was good.
But it's like I don't like it because it's not giving enough opportunities to other people, and I just see that this is just going to continue where she never loses and she never has to, really be in any type of trouble with that title at all, and it's just boring. It's boring and it's not fun. And then her response or rebuttal to that is like, who wants to lose? And it's like, girl, if we were talking about you winning on your own merit, where it was just you and this person, and the decision was based off of who was the better wrestler, not how they decided you were supposed to win, then you can low-key understand what you're talking about.
What happened to Camille? Like, the woman that helped her win the TBS title in the first place?
I don't know.
Oh, they took her right off of TV.
Yeah,
she
I don't know
probably
where she at.
She at home. She probably got to wait out that contract.
I said she should have took her ass to NXT. That's what I said. I didn't think her going to AEW was the right decision. But people make the decisions they want to make, and she chose to do that, so that was her business. But I felt like she should have went to NXT, especially now. Because, girl, I didn't know she got injured, Aaliyah. I wasn't aware of that.
Neither.
But All in Texas is the same weekend as Saturday Night Main Event and Evolution 2 and Great American Bash. All of that is in the same weekend.
It's a lot of wrestling.
Yes, it is. And luckily they didn't put Slammiversary around there. Slammiversary is on the 20th, if I recall, that following week.
The one thing I like about TNA, besides the fact that they're doing a lot of whack ass shit right now, the one thing I like about TNA, or at least I've noticed, is that when WWE is planning a big show like that month, they kind of skip that month for a pay-per-view. Because they do it like they don't have one in January, they don't have one in February. I think they have one in March, but then they don't have one in April because that's competing with Mania.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is a smart move, honestly.
I don't blame them. Shit.
I mean, like, I'll take
Let
some
me
time
get
off.
my shit the way I can. I don't want to fight with you. I don't. I'll get it on a different day. Like I said, you've got Saturday Night Main Event, Evolution, and Great American Bash all in the same day. NXT is going to air earlier in the day. I believe it's going to air at like 1, I want to say. And then they're going to have Saturday Night Main Event air at 8. Now, if they decide to have them do it simultaneously, they may have Saturday Night Main Event exclusively on NBC and then let NXT's Great American Bash air on Peacock on its own. I thought they were going to do Great American Bash as a TV special because they promised CW 2 TV specials a year, and they haven't done one for this year as far as I can remember.
Halloween Havoc. They'll probably do one with Halloween Havoc, honestly, as a TV special.
Maybe. You're probably right.
They pull that one out. That one and probably another one. I mean, August, September. They'll probably, to be honest, because we know they start wrapping up in November. So because then they're probably gonna have to go to Saudi. So more than likely, we'll probably get something in August, and then we'll get one in October, right when it's about to.
What was it? No, Aaliyah, what was the TV special? Because I don't remember it. But the schedule, y'all. The schedule is nuts. Because this is all in July, right? And this leads me to the next topic because we're going to leave AEW and go back to the E, all right? So the schedule for these next couple of weeks in terms of PLEs
is nasty.
That shit bonkers, okay? So we have, let me see what Aaliyah said. Oh, Roadblock. Was
Oh,
Roadblock
yeah.
a TV special?
Yeah, it was.
I don't remember. Well, I mean, you're probably right, Leah. I just don't remember. Okay. So we got the TV PLEs. And we got the PLEs for WWE, and then we have to include NXT as well. It was March 11th, she said. Why don't I remember that? Telling you, too much goes on in wrestling for you to remember everything. Some of y'all got steel trap minds, and I envy y'all.
Where's Rico
All right.
at?
So next week is Money in the Bank. That is on June 7th. At 3 o'clock is Worlds Collide. Those are all happening on the same day. Okay?
Miss Worlds Collide? Shit.
Yeah, babe. Yeah, babe. I'm sorry. But Worlds Collide is happening, and it's on YouTube. So if you miss it, it'll be on the YouTube app. So you won't feel too bad about it. You don't have to wait for Peacock to finally get their shit together to put it up there. You don't have to do that. Because it's gonna be on the YouTube app. Which thank God for that. I low-key was happy about that because I was like, oh, praise him. Because I don't have to go to Peacock. I could just go to fucking Worlds, go to YouTube, sit and watch it. It can play on my YouTube and I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the cool thing about Worlds Collide. It is on YouTube exclusively, so you don't have to worry about too much. But again, Worlds Collide, it starts at 3, and this is going to include everybody. So Worlds Collide includes NXT, WWE, and AAA. Everybody is included in this show. Currently, right now for Worlds Collide, there are a couple matches that are scheduled and ready to go. You got Legado del Fantasma. Okay, they're going up against El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., Psycho Clown, and Pagano. Okay, then you got Stephanie, Faye, and Lola. They're facing off against two of the luchadors, and I can't see their names, so I apologize for not being able to tell you their names. Then you have Ethan Page, who just won the NXT North American Championship. He is going to be facing off against Javon Evans, Laredo Kid, and Ray Phoenix in a fatal four-way for the North American Championship.
That is so diabolical.
That match is going to be nuts.
Javon Evans could not wait to ruin his night.
And
he was so excited.
I loved it.
He said, I'm going to ruin that man's week.
And
I'm
I don't
so
blame
happy.
you. You broke my jaw, bitch. I'm going after your shit. Fuck.
Yeah.
Don't blame him. Get his ass. Get his ass.
Yeah,
it was good. It was good. It was so good yesterday. I promise y'all we're going to get to NXT all the way through. I just want to make sure I tell y'all the match card that they have. Now, rumor has it is that the current AAA champion, Alberto Del Rio, is being forced to drop the title before Worlds Collide. Don't know when that's going to happen, but at least that was the rumor that I saw. He's not scheduled to be on the card, but they say that he's being forced to drop the title before then.
Yeah, because WWE doesn't want anything to do with him.
God, I hope so. Also, you've got Chad Gable versus El Hijo del Vikingo. Okay. And Stephanie Vaquer and Lola Vice are going up against I'm gonna say her name, Dallas and Chink Tormenta. Those are the two luchadoras they are going up against. So for now, those are your 4 matches for AAA. And for Worlds Collide and WWE's event. This is happening at 3 p.m. on Saturday, next Saturday. It was at MSG. I was there. I'm behind with NXT, so I'm about to watch it. Oh, okay.
Shout out to all the luchadors for having kick-ass fucking names, man.
It's crazy. And then after we get done with Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank, which is that following a few hours later, we have Money in the Bank. Currently, right now for Money in the Bank, they do have 4 of the 6 slots filled for the ladder match. I just didn't get the graphic with Seth Rollins on there. You have Seth Rollins, Penta, Solo, and LA Knight. The only person in here that I believe don't fit is Solo. And I didn't want Seth in this match at all. So
I just want to say this.
I need him to lose so bad.
I do.
Because like everyone, like, you know, I just want to say this. For all the crap that Rhea Ripley, like, I'm not happy that Rhea Ripley's on Money in the Bank either. But for all the shit that woman's getting, y'all better be throwing that same shit back at Seth Rollins too, because his ass don't need to be in here.
I didn't want Rhea in Money in the Bank. I'm sorry.
I didn't want her in there either, but you know, they don't listen to us. But I'm just saying, she's getting a lot of shit, but I'm looking for the shit that Seth Rollins is supposed to be getting, and I ain't seeing it. So,
yeah, I'm gonna let you in a minute, Donnie. I promise. Just give me 1 second. All right. So I'm gonna get this out, and then in the next couple of topics, I'm gonna start letting people in. All right, so you got the ladder match. They're gonna have 2 more qualifier matches. I imagine they're gonna have one on SmackDown because they already have one set for the women on SmackDown, and then Monday they're probably gonna have the last qualifier, which is probably gonna include Liv Morgan, Stephanie, because Stephanie's being pulled up, and they need to have a third, which
They are clearing house.
Yeah, if I was being messy, I would have Raquel fight in that match as well.
I wouldn't have Liv in the Money in the Bank match. She's already been in it. I mean,
she doesn't need to qualify. She needs to be in the qualifier.
Yeah. I don't want her in it, period, though.
There's nobody else on the roster to put in the qualifier, though. Except for Natalya, but Natalya's already competed.
Roxanne's there.
Roxanne is in it. She qualified.
Did?
Yes. Look at the screen, babe. She qualified.
Oh, then let me shut my white ass up then.
That's what I'm saying. Stephanie can qualify. I don't need Stephanie to win Money in the Bank. I really want, if Naomi wins her qualifier match, I do want Naomi to win the Money in the Bank. If it ain't Naomi, give it to Bliss. The only reason why I say to give it to Bliss is that hoe ain't been there for almost 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
She ain't been there.
And she's real good at cashing in.
And she know how to mess some shit up. She know how to fuck some shit up. My third dark horse will be Roxanne. Give it to Roxanne. I don't have a problem with Roxanne getting it, but I would, if I had to pick, if Naomi wins in her qualifier, I definitely would say Naomi would be my girl. But every year that we have picked her to win, they always give it to somebody else.
I don't ever pick women's Money in the Bank anymore because it's always wrong.
It always.
I'm always wrong. I can figure out the men's sometimes. Yeah. The women, no. So I'm not even going to bother. I would like to agree. Also, love the face turn that Alexa Bliss had with the podcast that we're all rooting for her.
Yeah.
Right.
Last year's money, I just wanted to be good because last year's Money in the Bank, we all kind of knew it was going to be Tiffany Stratton who won.
Man, it sucked.
That I was so mad about that because it was just so obvious. It was just so broadcasted.
You couldn't pick anybody else?
See, that's why I don't want Liv in there, because it'll just be Rhea versus Liv for most of the match.
And didn't she lose her qualifier?
No, she didn't have one. She went up against Kyrie this past Monday.
Oh, okay.
And she didn't get in the qualifier. They just put her in a match.
I'm going to say this loud and clear because I know they're going to pull some shit. If they let Becky Lynch in Money in the Bank, I'm going to fucking scream.
She's not in it.
Dude, I'm just saying because, she's a heel now.
She's honestly probably going to win that belt, so.
No, she has a match with Lyra.
Yeah,
because
she has
Lyra
a match that night.
her qualifier. So she's not even going to be able to be in the match. Lyra, the last match that we saw, that's how, if I recall, that's how Roxanne. Was it Roxanne? No, that's how Rhea won, because wasn't she in the match with Rhea and Kyrie?
Yeah, and then Lyra.
Who are you talking about?
Becky. Becky was in the qualifier match with Rhea and Kyrie.
Yeah.
Lyra came out, pulled her from the match. That's how Rhea ended up fighting Kyrie Sane 1-on-1 and won that match.
She wasn't in a match with Rhea, but she was in a match with someone because it was Zoe, Rhea, and Kyrie that was in the qualifier.
Isn't that the match where Zoe got injured?
Yes, and that's when Zoe got injured because low key Kyrie wasn't supposed to be pinned. It was supposed to be Zoe, but obviously her shit got fucked.
You know
So
what?
that's why Kyrie got pinned.
Roxanne and Natalia.
Yes, it was. It was Roxanne, Natalia, and Becky, and I was very obviously. I knew. No offense to Natty.
Told y'all I couldn't remember.
Actually, Natty is so funny. She just like completely broke kayfabe
Did you
with
see
so
her
many
post all
things.
this shit
I
on
was like, Natty, come
Come
on.
on. Y'all like to stay in
At
there
least
with
wait.
Naomi. Naomi said, she was like, fuck. The whole time she was in there, she was like, do you like Jade Cargill? And the girl was like, no. She was like, great, we're friends.
Talking shit. JoJo's trying to take a damn nap.
Right.
I can leave that lady alone. She's trying to sleep.
I
Because
said,
she
my
be me
God,
when I
today.
go on boats. I'm not even funny when I go on my friends' boats. Especially if you're out in the sun and you're drinking and you're in open water. That is a lot going on. And
Like, put your
sometimes
phone down.
you need a nap. And I lay down. I'm pretty sure I'll find one and post in a group chat. But there are plenty of photos with me, especially during Island Fest, where I'm taking a nap. I'm dead ass. The last year we went Island Fest, I took a long nap. Like I was down for over an hour.
As someone who grew up in Florida, I am going to tell y'all this and remember it now because summer's coming up. First of all, wear your sunscreen. Second of all, day drinking is not for the weak. Okay, y'all saw Tom Brady when he won that fucking, the Super Bowl trophy deal, and that man was blitzed at 3:00 in the afternoon. And then meanwhile, you just see some people walking around like, yeah, this is my 15th one. I'm fine, man. I just drink 2 waters in between it. Like day drinking is not for the weak.
Actually, this hair looks really good on Mercedes. So far away, the outfit looks great on her body. We don't need close-up shots of it. No, I'm serious. Like the silhouette and far away, this great. Up front, up close, not so much. I'm very nervous about this match. She low-key got on some shit Brandy would have wore.
Okay.
If I was going to pick the 4 that we have right here, I would like to see Bliss do it because Rhea, I love you, honey, but you don't need to be anywhere near that title right now. Roxanne's going to put on a hell of a match. Julia's going to be great.
I'd be shocked if they gave it to Roxanne.
I'd be shocked if they gave it to Julia, to be honest with you.
Depending on when this court case starts, we don't know.
Not when this court case starts.
I'm serious. They are going to. You talking about all these fans talking about? They are very counter programming AEW, and I don't even like saying that, but a lot of times because they both do it to each other, but this is very extreme. This is a little too much.
What? Tell us to shut the fuck up?
No, it's the massive counter programming against All In. I think that's crazy. Like a whole damn weekend.
Yeah.
And then y'all fucking Hunter. I'm gonna say this, and it's not even out of love because I low-key don't even really like you that much sometimes. But I don't know you, so it is what it is. And this is all allegedly. You running a bit of a sloppy shop over there, not gonna lie.
I have to agree. It's too much going on at one time.
It's too much. You're not wrapping shit up enough. Nothing's wrapped up, if we want to be honest. Not a single thing is wrapped up. We're changing dates for WrestleMania. And I'm gonna say this, and I said in a group chat, I'm just gonna say it up front. I vaguely do not like giving Vincent Kennedy McMahon any credit. Especially with all of the egregious, allegedly, things that he has done.
Yeah.
But one thing for sure, that man stuck to a date.
Yep.
And stuck to a city and stuck to a plan.
Yep.
And he don't care if like sales is low.
He
He
don't
just still gonna
care,
stay
and that
there.
man loved fucking money. He didn't care how much money you threw at him. He kept that shit. Whatever they played, that's it.
Like I actually did math last night. I sat down and I fucking did math, guys, like on my
You
own.
crazy in your head. I hate math.
Hell
I
froze,
hate it.
hell froze over. Like Roxanne's like that picture because I fucking did math. The amount of money that I'm just seeing for, because we all know that Mania, yes, which I think is bullshit. And Nicole can probably vouch for this too. If I'm going to Vegas for WrestleMania, WrestleMania is not going to be my main thing I'm going to go to. I'm going to go like other places and sightsee and shit. But the amount of money for WrestleMania tickets, this is a good segue into SummerSlam, honestly. The amount of money that I would pay for decent WrestleMania seats, a good hotel in Vegas, spending a week in Vegas, then flying back on Tuesday because I'm going to that Raw after WrestleMania. I'd rather go on a nice fucking vacation somewhere, like where you have to
Well, you ain't
require a
doing it no
pass.
more.
Let me tell you how much Ubers are in Vegas, especially if you're not staying on a strip. I kid you not,
Like
and I'm not
$50.
exaggerating. I really wish I fucking would. I know that I spent over $300 in Ubers.
That's $300 that you could have used to like go to it. Like hell, Daryl is like, if y'all are new to the show, Daryl's my
That's fucking crazy.
Daryl. I did the math with Daryl, and we didn't even, because I didn't even factor in the Uber. So that I'm gonna add $300 to that. Me and him, like, I showed him this and I said, this could be a trip to fucking Europe somewhere. Like, this could be a trip to fucking London or Ireland or Wales or wherever. Like, he is waiting for one of the shows to go back to Puerto Rico because he has, and it kind of shocked me. And I told you guys, and you guys were shocked. He wants to go to Puerto Rico. But I told him, I said, listen, if they go ever international with this shit and we go, WrestleMania is going to be one of the things that we do, but it's not going to be the main thing we do, you know? Like, I'd rather take that money and go somewhere nice. I don't want to go to Vegas when there's already too many people in Vegas as
Yeah,
it is. Do
and
I
there's so much
really
to
want
do.
to
It's a lot. It's a lot
Yeah.
going on.
You don't
put
want to
up
be
with a
everywhere that everybody else is at the same
As
time.
literally as someone, and I think that's what's so frustrated because people there are people who liked it and enjoyed it, and I'm not saying that this is everyone, but a good portion of people, even if they had a great time, I enjoyed myself, but I don't want to go back there.
Oh,
It's especially when you think about how far so many people, whether they're coming from the East Coast or the other side of the fucking world, that's a long travel. You're going all the way to the literal almost edge of the United States.
You ain't lying.
Yeah.
And this is a lot from people who even live like myself, who live on
To
the
watch
East
some
Coast,
weirdos
Yep.
fighting baby oil.
let alone imagine people from Europe, people from South America, people
Mhm.
from Central
Africa.
America, think of people in Ireland, like all those European countries, and
Mhm.
even there was people there. There was two guys who were next to me who were from fucking Australia.
Oh,
What kind
You
of
know
money
how
one
long
got?
it takes to
The
get to
fuck?
Australia? That's at least a 20-hour fucking flight.
That-
And
yeah.
it's
25.
just so, and this is how I know this is a TKO thing, because they're so obsessed with Vegas because it's a UFC thing, but UFC isn't even really that good anymore, if we want to be honest.
Oh,
It's not. I
Yeah,
like, as a
the new shit
product
is
is not,
power
it's not
slap.
that good anymore
Well,
yeah.
as
And
an
like,
the
actual
homosexual.
product. And it's so, and it's, I'm so pissed off about it as well because it's Vegas being greedy.
Move my
Mhm.
mouse.
Vegas made a lot of money from Mania. On
Yeah,
top
they
of
did.
Vegas, which I got to take a peek of it, which I was very happy about. Um, Las Vegas, I want to say 4 years now, have been on a F1 calendar. They are a major race on the F1 calendar. You know how big of a deal that is for especially an American city?
Yeah.
that's
They are a very, very big deal. And
plus,
not only that is because of they have a really good track, because it's a mixture of, again, this is, sorry, I'm going into my F1 stuff, but they have a great track because it's a combination of a regular track and then it's it's street. So again, it's fast. It's a really good circuit. It's obviously it's in fucking Vegas. Is right by that dumb damn spear. So they're able to utilize that from for promotional and all sorts of stuff. And then the setup is there, and they're also having, I believe there is like an F1, they're opening up a F1 store, like a huge one on the strip, which I kind of thought it was, and I was like very upset that it was closed. That it wasn't like open yet, but they have that. They're probably going, and then they've been talking about having, because I believe Abu Dhabi has somewhere in the middle, either Dubai or Abu Dhabi has like an F1, has like basically a Ferrari roller coaster, like Ferrari World there.
Yeah.
And they're talking about eventually having a, huh?
That was even the comment.
And they eventually have, and they eventually are talking about having a F1 ride in Vegas. You know how much fucking money, the F1 brought Vegas? I want people to guess.
I ain't even got the brain capacity.
Almost $2 billion fucking dollars. And this is something they get yearly. And also Vegas is a big deal because it's so farther down the calendar. You can depending on how the points are, a lot of times the World Driver Championship is decided at fucking Vegas.
Why can't you just pick another big four of the big five?
And I'm like, I want to. If Vegas was a person, I would shake it. I'm like, you greedy fucking bitch.
No, for real.
Oh, she's got a point. You also have to think about this. Vegas has swarms of people there at all given time. And Nicole, I was thinking about this while you were there. So you have the people who are in Vegas to see Vegas, right? Then you're going to add wrestling fans on top of everybody else who's already in Vegas. And I'm sorry, but if I was not a wrestling fan and I didn't know what Mania was, and I went to Vegas and I started smelling people, and I'm like, why is everyone here so fucking stinky?
You musty, shitty fucks.
Alexis always bring up the phone.
Surprisingly, it wasn't that bad. The worst was those drunk people who were before me, before the Australian people's whose actual seat they were showed up. And it was mostly like he smelled really bad. But as a whole, also I was around a lot of black people, wrestling fans, and black adjacents and POCs. So I think that also culled
they smart
the smell. And even our Caucasian folks that were around us, obviously they knew the environment they were in.
Period, as they should.
So that's why I said, I was like, I surprisingly, once I got to Mania, yes, like the actual Mania, but all the other shows and stuff I went to, I was in a damn whatever that school is. I'm so sorry, I'm forgetting name. I actually really need to post content from Mania. Whatever that school that we were at, when I say we was packed in that damn shit like sardines.
Every clip I saw,
we were for the Ashay show,
a bar table at that.
I could see the wrestlers sweating. That's how all packed in and close we were all in. And I didn't smell shit.
I just don't like the fact that they're going back to Vegas, because that's all it is
it's greedy.
I don't like
for everybody. It's greedy on everybody.
I mean,
that's how I feel about July. Like, y'all have lost your minds. My pockets are not that deep.
No,
and also real. It's like I listened to Peter Rosenberg's show, and he was talking about him and commentators and like the people like. And like Eva Talley did not like it that much.
No.
Because, dude, like, okay, so my dad, way back in the day, shout out to my dad. My dad back in the day, when he worked in the car industry, like once a year, like they'd have this thing in Vegas where all like the general managers of the like better performing stores, they get a trip to Vegas and they do like this conference thing, whatever, business, whatever car guys talk about, right? And the first year he went, he said it was cool. And, you saw all the casinos and all like the attractions and stuff. And then my dad kept going. And by year 4, he was so burnt out. He literally told my mom, I heard him one night saying, I'm just going to do bad this year just so I don't have to go back to Vegas. Because it's kind of like a one and done thing. Because that's what I'm hearing a lot of people like online talking about. They're like the ones who went to Vegas. They're like, yeah, they go, you guys don't want to know how much I spent going to Vegas. There was some guy in like from Maine who was like in this like Instagram like thing. And he was talking about how much his flight cost, how much it was to get a decent hotel close to the stadium, so he didn't have to pay the outrageous Uber fees. And it's just like it. I mean, I know New Orleans, they always tend to stick to the big cities, and like honestly, New Orleans is already. It's just like Vegas. It's packed up to the ears already, and then you're going to add wrestling fans on top of that, which is great for the local. And that's the other thing too. It's great for local economies. People are going to be there. People are going to be eating out. People are staying in hotel rooms, all that kind of stuff, which is great. But like Vegas doesn't need it. But we can also kind of say the same thing about that Indianapolis deal that they're doing, where they're having how many shows this year in that new stadium?
Well, I mean, I don't think they're having any more shows in Indianapolis. They just had.
I thought they were having it in some. They were having.
Yeah, they got like a partnership. They only knocked one of them off.
What happened?
They do have a partnership with them because it's like 3. I know Royal Rumble was one. I don't think Mania was one because it's too cold there during that time of the year. Mm-hmm. Even though they do have a dome, but everybody, like I feel like everybody was fucking screaming about it. I mean, there's no shade. I don't like being cold, so I'd be mad too. So I'm not even gonna really hold their feet to the fire on that. I feel like one is SummerSlam.
I want to say it's SummerSlam. Like I can't remember it and I can't get access to it right now, but it's just like it's just a cash grab. It's greedy. Yeah. And it's like there are plenty of other cities that could use that cash grab. I'm just saying. But the way that Wrestlemania tickets are priced anymore, and now that I'm seeing SummerSlam prices, girl, I ain't gonna be afford anything.
Speaking of SummerSlam, if you want to go to SummerSlam, the tickets for the seats in the nosebleeds are starting at $248.
For nosebleeds?
That sounds about average because
that's the average price for nosebleed seats. The tickets closer to the front, when you're talking about getting down by the arena, those tickets are $9,713.
Well, you can go ahead and close that out.
Dude, that's a mortgage payment and a half for me.
And that is for 2 tickets.
Literally.
2 tickets.
Those are absolute complete Mania prices.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even fucking. Those are Mania prices. I mean, they will go down. Also, folks, I'm gonna let you know, depending on how their stadium is set up, getting tickets of the day of might not be worth it, might not, because because the way the ticket shit was, I was running very late to Mania. I end up just having to just buying it online anyways, which I'm very upset about in hindsight, because I was not my plan. But whatever, turned out for the best, I guess. So I don't know. I don't know how MetLife says. I also heard how much of a nightmare it is navigating that area and trying to leave. I heard it's really bad.
You said MetLife?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I heard it was when they had that Mania there, and Trey talked about, so many people talked about how awful it was.
Yeah, because they were stuck for a second, weren't they?
Yeah, people were stuck there. Yeah. I was there. I was at the stadium for like a fucking hour before I left on Mania.
Yeah. Well, I know when they were here in Cleveland, from what I heard, they had a really good, easy way to get out from the stadium. They didn't have a lot of issues with downtown because they had everything set up so that people knew they couldn't take Ubers. They had to walk away from the stadium to get out. They were able to safely get people out. Cleveland made it very, very easy for WWE to have their major event here and for it to work. and it worked, and they did it so that the city wouldn't be jammed up from the shit that we had going on.
Well, they had it at Brown Stadium, right?
Yeah.
Well, you can't even drive down there, really.
You
Anyways,
can't.
so yeah, you can't drive.
No,
down there.
They had to. You had to have your Uber booked either a block or two away from the stadium if you wanted to take an Uber. And you had to leave and walk down to your Uber. It wasn't coming down there. Nobody was allowed down that street unless you were coming into the stadium or going out. And even when the show was over, they were only letting people leave the stadium if you had cards. You couldn't go back in.
Yeah, when me and Rico went down there to the stadium just to see the SummerSlam shop to see what they had down there, they actually had signs like pointing where it's like emergency personnel only, and they had like a thing for like handicapped people where you would have your ride can pick you up there, and they had like by the time me and Rico were leaving the stadium, police were showing up and they were setting up like barricades and getting ready to like the flow of traffic and everything. I'm like, wow, this is actually pretty smart.
Yeah, they not fucking playing shit. I know that I had a couple friends who went to SummerSlam here. They told me that their tickets were pretty much along the lines of what we saw online. It wasn't super, super expensive, but it was typical Mania prices. However, if you are bougie and you need to sit closer to the stadium, you're going to pay a grip. You're going to pay a decent amount to sit there. Now, I don't know how much it cost for Cleveland, but I'm going to imagine it was somewhere in that range. However, I do have to remember that last year around this time, we didn't have a fucking tyrant in the presidential office putting tariffs up and causing people to have full-on financial mental meltdowns. So it was a little bit more average for a regular PLE that WWE puts on, especially for one of the major five. I don't know. I mean, it's very simple. You either pay the ticket prices to go, or you keep your ass at home and do watch parties like I do.
I know my ass. As soon as I heard that rigmarole about them not going to about them going back to Vegas, I said, "Oh, that's a no for me, dog." I will save my money this year like I wanted to originally, and I was like, I'm gonna save. But I think I'm gonna go to a Grand Prix out of the country since
she's so bougie. She's going to Formula One because she's one of the girls. She's one of the girls.
hell no, my ass is probably not. Actually, I need to see it. I can't do no GA. A lot of them aren't really. I do want to go to IndyCar show, but my mom wants to go to one, so I gotta actually look into that. She doesn't really. My mom doesn't like Formula One. She said it's too much. She's like she says it's too much. She doesn't like how fast it is.
Oh, okay.
She's like, it's too fast. She always thinks someone's gonna die, so she doesn't like watching it. But I'm like, Mom, someone dies in NASCAR quite often. I don't.
That's true.
Why are you? I don't know. I'm not arguing with her about it. I was just like, all right, lady, I'll let you have it.
Did you see the video I sent you on Instagram when it's like, oh, Formula One, they're about something like fixing Formula Ones, and then it's just a bunch of NASCAR guys like trying to fix these cars, and there's like a bunch of people like jumping on this like bumper that was broken and to try to get it off the car.
That's how I think Ferrari fixes their things, but that's like a whole nother discussion. But it's funny. Honestly, I feel like everyone should watch Drive to Survive. If you're not gonna watch any of this stuff, watch like Drive to Survive. There's the show. It's about to come off of Netflix, which is 100 Days to the Indy 500, which I started watching, which is also really funny because these people are very dramatic. They're a lot of especially Formula One, there are a lot of very dramatic European, Spanish, just a lot of just very dramatic and gossipy and emotionally a lot of probably need some therapy.
Well, yeah, because
Honestly, all of them
women's
need
champion.
therapy. I can guarantee you, none of them go see a therapist. A lot of them need therapy. A lot of them need therapy. It's fine because in my mind, I'm like, no normal person puts themselves in this little teeny ass little car and drives over 200 miles an hour. The Oklahoma win? Shut up! I don't want to see these stats. I want to see the score. I'm
Kelly
so
Armstrong is won the Evolve Women's Championship.
I just saw that. I spoiled
these
myself.
First evers for these black women. I love it.
That's how I know Shawn Michaels is booking Evolve. Period.
Yeah. Everybody, white, stand up, please.
Stop.
Move to the back of the room.
Go to the back.
Stop.
Thank you. It's better already in here.
Only if you have a fat ass, then you can stay up here.
Now, if you're a white with a
Oklahoma
fat ass,
City is up 88-62, Nicole.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know. I don't know why they were trying to give me a bunch of extra information that I did not need to know.
Well, I'll
it's
see
the
you
third
guys.
quarter, he said.
So, bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Still here. I'm just gonna go stand in the back, like not.
Oh my gosh!
Now why you do that? We thought you was leaving. Shit. You just said bye and everything.
I completely forgot.
She just said, I'm a white woman, so I'm gonna go stand in it. No.
You just stand halfway. We'll meet you halfway.
Ew, what is this?
I hate it.
I'm showing a lot of titties. I don't like that. Put your titties up. It was a man's titties. Man boobs. I don't know what was titties. Anyway. Okay. So we talked about how they're stacking these shows, the PLEs. So on the 6th, on the 7th of June, we have Worlds Collide, like I said, and then we have Money in the Bank. Okay. Then on July 12th, we have Saturday Night Main Event, Evolution, and earlier in that day, we also have Great American Bash from NXT. This is all happening on one day. With the exception of Evolution. Right. Evolution is going to happen on that Sunday. But Great American Bash and Saturday Night Main Event are on the same damn day.
This shit ain't right.
They're on the same day. I feel exhausted just talking about it. But this is all happening in the same weekend. And this is all happening during All In Texas. Okay. Now, personally, I'm not quite understanding why they're counter programming AEW. I don't see the need for it. I don't see the reasoning behind it. AEW has a lot of work to do in terms of restructuring what they want to bring to their audience in terms of the matches they create and the storylines they're making. So if I were WWE, I wouldn't care about what they're doing, but I wouldn't be stacking the deck against them like this either. Because not only are you splitting your audience with them, you're splitting your audience with your programming as well. Because you are either going to watch NXT or watch Saturday Night Main Event. They're not going to watch both.
I hope the sound barrier gets disrupted.
And most people are going to watch Saturday Night Main Event, if I'm being fair. And that's not to say that nobody likes NXT, but NXT is technically your developmental brand.
I ain't watching that Saturday Night Main Event. I'm letting you know that right now.
I mean, what the casual fans are. They're not going to watch NXT.
I ain't watching NXT.
I'm watching NXT. I'm not watching.
He does count. He's a casual fan.
Who said I don't count?
Really? AJ said you don't count. Now watch your mouth.
Who said I don't count?
Because I will stump you out about that one.
Excuse me?
We don't play about Gerard around here.
All right, and he said I don't count.
You don't.
I do count.
You watch Raw?
Yes, I watch parts of it.
No, you're a casual fan.
I don't want to see the same motherfuckers popping up on my screen every goddamn day.
Well, you don't mind watching Seth Rollins every day.
Yeah,
I have a problem.
He's starting to get stale.
Oh, now
No,
you can't stale. I
see, you're
thought
not
you was
even
in
watching. See,
love.
that's the problem. You're not watching it for real, so you don't know.
What the hell is for real, for real? What are you talking about?
What's going on with
Oh,
Seth Rollins
that was
right now?
He got his little boy group.
the New York came
But
out
to do
fast.
What do you mean? What do you mean to do what?
What's the purpose?
Uh-oh.
I don't know. The fucking win a championship, whatever. That's
See,
what his purpose of it is.
to be on
Sir,
top.
Oh,
he's been on
don't
top.
listen to Di.
He's been on
Don't
top
listen to Di. He
for
just
the
in love
past
with the
couple of years.
villain.
He's
We
been on
know
top.
that.
He
We
just
been
in
on
know
love
top
with the
that.
already.
villain on TV. He don't care.
That's
It
the
could have been
purpose.
anybody.
No, because he don't. He's talking about the same people, but yes, it's the same people, but the stories have changed.
Well, change the fucking people at this point.
That's why it's new additions to all stories.
New addition to all story of the same
Not new
faces.
additions.
You have to sit and watch.
I watch someone different.
Like Pop Rocks just got into Judgment Day. She's street trash now.
Oh Lord, they still got that group. They still got Judgment. Well, that's yeah, I seen it. They still
Yeah,
got Judgment Day going
unfortunately.
on.
Hey.
They still got it on.
So
Ripley's
after after Money in the Bank, actually, you got another PLE in between Money in the Bank and Worlds Collide. Night of Champions is in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and it is on 28th.
What's with all these pay-per-views back to back to back? What's
Baby,
going
we
on?
don't know.
Insane.
We don't know. we don't know.
I need to know what Hunter's doing at
I
this
Who
don't
the
know what
point
he's
for
hell?
real.
doing.
Who did this?
I
Who
can
set
do it
this?
on Ali Saturday night.
Who set this up and did it like this? Like who agreed?
He had to be the one because he's the one who approves the shit.
That man got too many hits in the head. Something
It
going on
goes
with him.
through it. Stop.
This makes up for the constant not touring.
Jesus
And
fucking Christ.
then after July, because like I said,
Oh
we
yeah,
got
because aren't they getting rid of house shows?
Yeah.
So after July, after we get done with Main Event,
Which is
Evolution,
weird.
and Great American Bash, we have SummerSlam on the 2nd and 3rd of August. This is the first time it's a 2-night event, so this is going to be major. And then we have what happened?
SummerSlam in New Jersey.
Yeah, then we have Clash in Paris August 31st, and they'll still be in Paris in September. And then in October, they're going to be in Australia, in Perth, the whole weekend. From Friday to Monday, they will be in Perth. And this is Crown Jewel for them. And then I'm sure at the beginning of November, they're going to go back to Saudi for something. They'll figure it out. They'll be back in Saudi, and then they'll have Survivor Series at the end of November. And then December is when they take their break and they finally start batch filming. And we get a little bit of a reprieve. And then they'll be headed back to Saudi for Royal Rumble next year. Some of this shit I'm not gonna watch because I can't do it.
Damn, Timberwolves getting they fucking asses whooped. This is crazy.
Oh shit.
What's going on?
Now we're gonna quickly go
That's
through
nasty.
NXT. Very quickly.
Is Anthony Edwards injured?
Rod said no.
What's going on with them?
I don't know, but because they beat Oklahoma
They
the
get their
last
asses
time.
whooped. If they're up, OKC is up 40 points.
Shit. They up 40 points.
Yes.
And the Pacers
they're like 100.
I hope
They're like
Oklahoma
100 and
smash
they're
the Pacers.
101. Actually, well, it's basically 40 points. They're at 101 or 100 and something, and then OKC is like at 68 or 69. With 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, like I would have stopped playing.
Nicole,
you're not gonna.
Nicole, please.
I'm serious. I'm gonna stop playing. I took my ass home. I took my ass right back in that locker room and called it a day.
All right. So, NXT happened yesterday. I'm gonna be very, very quick until we get to the parts that y'all actually want to hear about. Jada Parker went up against Tatum. She beat Tatum. Thea attacked her, and I guess they're gonna keep that feud going. I don't know. I don't really care, to be honest. I don't like Jada Parker right now because she's getting on my nerves. What they have? Ethan Page went up against Ricky Saints. Ethan was able to beat Ricky and become the new North American champion, but that love affair of having that title is short-lived because, like I told y'all earlier, Ethan Page now has to face off against 3 other opponents at Worlds Collide, which I don't think he's going to drop that title in that match, but I do think he's going to end up dropping that title to Javon, just not right now. He's going to face off against Javon Evans, Ray Phoenix, and Laredo Kid. Laredo Kid would be the representative from AAA. Ray Phoenix is from SmackDown. And, of course, you have NXT's Javon Evans. So they're going to have all of that happening. And Ethan didn't really get the opportunity to celebrate anything. Also, Trick Williams was out there talking his shit, and Trick Williams got confronted by Mike Santana, who had a match earlier against Tavion Heights, a very good match, by the way, to which he beat Tavion Heights on the show. However, Trick Williams was being overly arrogant, which is an extreme turnoff for me. I don't like that, but it is what it is. He came out there in his wee little boots and he was talking about how he now is the brand. He turned his back on the NXT crowd because he claimed they turned their back on him for chanting for Average Joe. So he had his little speech and his spiel about how he's going to meet up with TNA and have a conversation about some changes that need to be made because now TNA is Trick. I don't know. It's Trick something. Okay, I guess. I don't fucking know. That's what Mike Santana came out there. Mike Santana was like, bitch, you trying it. He was like, basically what he said was there was me and several other people who built this damn company up, and you're not going to come out here and talk shit about a company that you just became champion of. So he was like, while you out here talking shit, I want to let you know that I already told you that whoever won after this match at Battleground, I was coming for the championship. So the match has been set. Trick Williams will face off against Mike Santana next week on NXT. I don't think he's going to beat him. Mainly because I believe Trick Williams is going to cheat, which is how he won the title in the first place. But it is what it is. So we get to Stephanie's match. Okay. Stephanie had a match with Jacy Jane. Jacy Jane walked up to Stephanie after Battleground and slapped that woman in her face. And this led to her having a title match. Very odd way to make a title match, but title match is made nonetheless. She had a match, she was fighting, and in the middle of the match, they attempted to cheat. Fatal Influence was arguing. Stephanie took out everybody. She got Jacy Jane back in the ring.
She snatched that title from the towel, yeah.
Very able to do whatever she wanted to do. And then the game changed again when Nix got on the ring, distracted the ref. Fallon used the ring post to swing around and take out Stephanie. And that's how Jacy Jane was able to roll her up and get the pin. And Jacy Jane is now the NXT Women's Champion.
Weirder things have happened. Weirder things have happened.
I don't like it. So I understand that I understand that Stephanie is probably being pulled to deepen that Raw women's roster, but I feel like there was a better way that it could have been done. And this just seemed very rushed and out of the blue. I ain't gonna lie, it shocked everybody because I was sitting here like, what the fuck just happened? Everybody in the audience mouth was open. Mike couldn't even finish doing his damn announcements. The person next to him that usually ring the bell had to tap him like, hey, you gotta announce her. Like, cause we all had the same thoughts. Okay? All of us. We all had the same thought process. Every single one of us. So that was an interesting thing.
That was
I was
crazy.
just like,
I couldn't hear nothing.
I was like, wowzers. I said, okay. Now I gotta watch this ragtag team on TV gloating, and I'm not interested. So
she finna drop them hoes.
Sure, whatever.
It's not gonna last.
Makes y'all happy.
I dropped them hoes.
It's not gonna last long. Like, that's why. I mean, I'm happy Jacy finally got something she deserved.
She got the title.
It's not gonna last long. Her and Fallon are gonna fight it out. Fallon's gonna become jealous, and gonna fall apart, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh my god, we didn't see this at all." No.
I think if it had been done cleaner, I probably wouldn't be so irritated by it. But again, like I'm of the school of thought that wrestling is supposed to invoke some emotion. It don't mean it's supposed to be a happy emotion. So it gave something, and I'm just like, oh. Now, I don't know where this is headed, but something stinks. It's just too much happening at once.
I don't know if I want to say what I'm thinking. Oh God. Shit. She's holding that title. She's gonna have it for a little bit. Sorry, I'm unfortunately have to answer a work issue. She's gonna hold that title for a little bit, but I'm telling you, and I feel like usually I'm right about this. She is holding that title for somebody. I love Jacy. She is unfortunately going to be semi-transitional champ, but she is holding that title for somebody.
And who is that somebody?
I didn't
know
think
what
she
you're
was going to go for, because I was very anti. She's not going. I think she's going. I think she's holding that for Mariah May. And this is why. And at first I didn't think so, but especially when I heard how they're yanking all of those women up. So Julia, Roxanne, Jordan, and Stephanie all get called up within like 3 weeks of each other.
Yep.
That is your entire. And this isn't poo-pooing. Obviously, the women's division is stacked, as deep, as wonderful, as beautiful, most beautiful thing I've seen in my entire life. But I don't want, and again, this is not to poo-poo, but they depleted all of their big names all at once.
Sorry about that.
Basically, all at once, they took the big in-ring talent, just named in general, they all got swooped in right together.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have thought that if Cora, which they never should let that lady go, if Cora was still there.
I have to,
because I was like, okay, she's gonna steer the ship.
Oh.
Somebody got to steer the ship, and someone who knows, even though they're young, and they know, and even though they're young and they know what's up and they could handle it. That's Mariah. And you just center the division around her until Hunter starts sniffing around there, which I imagine he is with her, and they bring her up and she can get Tiffany together so people knows what that type of character is supposed to be like.
He like the greedy child.
He is. He's greedy as fuck.
And what you got? What's
Gluttony
on your plate?
is a sin, Hunter.
Can I taste some?
And it doesn't mean food. not just food. Gluttony is a sin
take.
hunter.
Oh,
It's too
I'm
much.
surprised
He's
Oba's
gonna
still in
sniff her. I don't know.
NXT.
Sean gotta act like her name is something else
I
until
don't think Oba's gonna stay down there too long either.
he's not.
I
The
think
men's
Ricky's gonna
division is
end up getting
slightly
that
getting
title.
better. I think Ricky's gonna get pulled up soon
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I don't think he is. I think he's gonna be NXT
You
champion
think
before
he's
he
gonna?
gets pulled
You
up.
think they're gonna actually? No, they might leave him down there for a second.
Yeah, I do. I think they're gonna.
I
He's
think
gonna.
after. I think once we start hitting like winter, I think they might pull him.
Mm,
Is
Depending
there
on
no
what's going
draft
on.
no more?
no. They do that
Oh,
portal where they pull them. They pull them through
I
the
don't like
portal.
that.
That's what they did earlier
I
this
don't
year.
like that.
Pull him to the
That's what they
portal.
did.
I want to sit there. I want to
They
watch
didn't do no
everybody be
draft. The
nervous about a
draft is
draft.
stupid. I don't even like doing. I don't even
I
like the
love
draft
the
anymore.
draft.
I don't
I
like it no
love
more.
the
It's
draft.
pointless. I rather them they just show up at this point.
I don't want you to show up.
They are
No, because
whooping their ass. What
I
is
get where
going
Nicole's coming
on?
from. I like it from an entertainment standpoint, but I do understand what Nicole means because if they show up, if they just show up, they might have a better shot on that roster than them being pulled like where Carmelo is. Because I feel like once Trick is done, because I think Trick is gonna drop that title at Slammiversary. He's not keeping it past Slammiversary. He's gonna get pulled. He's gonna get
As he
pulled.
should. He needs to move out the
And
way.
personally, I think he should have been immediately called up, but he's gonna get pulled and he's gonna get a big ovation when his music hits and he comes out there. It's gonna be nuts. So, and I will put him on SmackDown just for him and Trick to either get back together or cause some mess. I'm dead ass.
I would say they get back together so he can steal the hype.
Somebody got to do something so he can stop walking around with that Andre the Giant plastic ass chain.
And then he gonna get a little bit too big for his britches.
And then
And
Carmelo.
he's like, you know what I did since you done left? 3-time champion. No, 4-time champion. Wow, you got your little stinky little 3.
Ooh. Ooh.
Or is it 2?
Be careful. Be careful.
You like, I made you. What? And then it's gonna get messy.
And I think that is
She said put Church on SmackDown. I said have him take back up so Melo could kind of steal the hype.
That is all of our tea and mess for wrestling this week.
Yeah. But that lady is gonna show up. I'm telling you all that right now.
Oh yeah.
Mariah May, the
Yeah.
glamour, the woman from hell. Oh,
Anthony Edwards is pissed. He put that jacket on. He ready to go.
Oh, he on the bench. Did he fall out?
He's zipping his shit up. He is ready to go. Oh, he gonna start an argument with somebody as soon as he get in the locker room.
Well, I mean,
Anthony Edwards is fucking nuts, but I love him.
He going right now.
No, the shit he did with that girl that he got pregnant was probably one of the most ingenious things I've ever heard in my life.
Because she low-key did that on purpose. So that I don't feel bad when women do that because I said you did that on purpose.
He gave her a lump sum. He was like, how am I supposed to pay her out? They gave him the price.
They told him how much he had to pay him.
And he gave her all of it for 18 years.
In one check. Here you go.
In one check.
Oh, wow.
I bet you half of that check going to be gone by next year.
And it is because I was like,
there you go. Got what you want that.
I was
because
like, you
it's
can't
like,
even.
Lady, you know what you were doing. And people are like, well, he was like, he also should have wrapped it up. But I was like, for me, for birth control, that's a two-way street.
Yeah.
I am never, and again, this might be TMI, and we can move on from this conversation after this. And I also need to go to bed soon.
Tight. Hold tight. Hold your thought, Nicole. Hold your thought.
Okay.
Let me see if I can end the stream over here on YouTube.